Today marks 10 years since the Richmond Hill home explosion that rocked a Southside community.
That explosion killed 2 people and caught the attention of the entire country. It was so dramatic. Gina Galeros is looking back at the impact it had on the city and remembering the victims who lost their lives. Gina?
Well, those of us who are from Indiana will never forget what happened 10 years ago today, but that's especially true for the first responders, survivors, and those who still live in this neighborhood. Today, the Richmond Hill neighborhood looks like any typical neighborhood. But if you look a little closer, you can see empty lots, parts of driveways, and discolored grass where homes used to be 10 years ago. On November 10th, 2012, it looked like a tornado ripped through this neighborhood. Hoosiers and the rest of the country would find out it was a home explosion that killed this couple living next door, Jennifer and Dion Longworth. Neighbors turned into heroes that night.
So we actually came running in right through over here, came through, hopped the fence, and then came up through this way, and right back of their house where their kitchen dining room area was at was where we found the first daughter.
Dozens of homes were damaged. 30 were eventually torn down. Police say this blast was intentional design by Mark Leonard. Prosecutors say his half-brother Bob carried out his plan to destroy the home of Monserrate Shirley to collect a $300,000 insurance payout. Shirley testified that he was promised $10,000. Investigators say Bob filled the home with natural gas and rigged a microwave oven to set it off. Shirley was sentenced to 50 years in prison. Mark and Bob Leonard were sentenced to life in prison. Mark died in 2018. Gary Thompson pleaded guilty to arson. And for our colleagues, it's a story they too will never forget. Tonight, our Scott Swan, Rich Nye, and Rich Van Wyk, who covered this story extensively, take a look back at the Richmond Hill explosion and the lasting impact 10 years later.